What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about the Bullfrog in Warzone and how they basically destroyed this gun because I actually found a hidden update and something that they didn't mention in any patch notes that I can find at least that makes the Bullfrog much worse than a lot of people may think it is right now. Now for those that don't know, the Bullfrog was quite powerful up until I believe it was the May 7th update. And in that update, they nerfed the damage profile, which made it quite a bit less effective. So let's just do a quick recap of what changed initially with the Bullfrog to make it a little bit worse, and then I'll get into the hidden stat change that, to my knowledge, nobody else knows about at this point, that makes the Bullfrog no longer a very solid choice to use in Warzone. But just to recap, and I am going to be comparing this with the LC10 side by side just because they are quite comparable, and this should hopefully show the discrepancy between these now and how the LC10 is actually better overall. But when it comes to our torso time to kill against 3 armor plates, Bullfrog kills in 555 milliseconds, and the LC10 is 600 milliseconds. So it's looking pretty good for the Bullfrog, it kills faster. However, after that nerf from the May 7th update, you now have to hit 7 of your 8 shots in the torso. If you hit any more than 1 shot on a limb, your time to kill now drops to 634 milliseconds. Which is now going to be slower than the LC10, which has a much more forgiving damage profile when it comes to those torso shots. And when you're looking at a close quarter situation where there's often a lot of movement involved and people jump shotting and drop shotting and stuff like that, it's quite likely you're going to be hitting a limb shot or two. And therefore, in a realistic situation, you're most likely going to get a better time to kill with the LC10 over the Bullfrog. Additionally, with that nerf from May 7th, which again, this stuff is all known already, I'm just doing a recap of it here, our headshot potential changed too. With the Bullfrog, it used to only require 1 headshot mixed in with body shots in order to reduce the time to kill down to 476 milliseconds, which is amazing. Now it takes 2 headshots mixed in, whereas with the LC10, you still only need 1 headshot to reduce your time to kill. And even though that time to kill reduction isn't quite as good as the Bullfrog with 2 shots to the head, again, this is just going to be happening much more consistently, and when you look at consistency over time, the LC10 is going to be the better option. And initially when I looked at this nerf, I would have said that the Bullfrog and LC10 were still fairly comparable power-wise. The Bullfrog has a bit more potential, but requires more precision, whereas the LC10 is just more consistent. And another big reason that I like the Bullfrog over the LC10 is it had a very noticeably faster bullet velocity, which is great for a mid to longer range SMG, which is what these are designed for. They're not really designed for those super close quarters fights, but more so for the mid ranges. However, this is where the hidden change comes in, and I honestly don't know when this change took effect. I first noticed this with the mid-season update for Season 3. The Bullfrog's bullet velocity was absolutely destroyed. This went from 520 meters per second down to the base level for Cold War SMGs at 350 meters per second. At the same time, the LC10 got a buff to its bullet velocity, but this one was stated in the patch notes. It used to be 350 meters per second, and now it's 400 meters per second. So once you factor that part into the equation as well, I really don't see much of a reason to ever be using the Bullfrog over the LC10. The LC10 is simply a better choice. And I really don't know why they ended up changing the bullet velocity on this. Perhaps it was just a bug of some sort and it's not meant to be this slow. And since it wasn't mentioned in any patch notes, which they've been doing a really good job with lately, by the way, perhaps this was unintentional. But as it is now, I really feel like they changed too many things at once with the Bullfrog, to the point where I really just don't see much of a reason to use it now over something like the LC10. So yeah, I'm hoping this was just a mistake and it's something they could potentially revert so that the Bullfrog is still a decent choice and you could go either way, Bullfrog or LC10, and still be pretty much just as effective. But yeah, this also raises the question, if there was one hidden update, what else could have changed in the background? And this is one of the biggest things I hate about these hidden updates that happen in the background with no mention in patch notes. It looks like I'm going to have to actually go through and start testing bullet velocity on basically every gun in the game again, just to confirm that nothing else changed. So yeah, where there's one hidden update, it's very possible there could be more. If you guys feel like you've noticed anything that has changed, maybe one of your favorite guns or your favorite setups just suddenly feels different in some way, please let me know in the comment section below, and if possible, try to describe what feels like it changed. Maybe it was recoil or bullet velocity, something like that. And I'd be happy to go in and do some more testing and see if we can find some more potential hidden updates that have come into effect at some point over the past couple weeks. Now, on the bright side, I just have a little bit of a personal update for the channel, at least, that's actually going to be impacting the channel in a very positive way. For those of you guys that have been around a while, you'll know that I play on console, I play on a PS5, and what this means is all my testing is done at 60 FPS, which is good enough for most things, but when you're measuring really, really fast actions, like sometimes aim down sight time or bullet velocity, it really helps to have that higher frame rate. And the good news is, I finally caved and just ordered a pre-built PC. I've been trying to wait for the 30 series graphics cards to come back in stock so I could get a decent enough frame rate, because my current PC just isn't built for gaming, it's built for streaming and rendering. But yeah, I ordered a brand new PC with an RTX 3090 in it. This thing is an absolute monster, and hopefully I'll be getting that in the near future. And that means once I get it, going forward, I will not only be playing on PC for Warzone, all of my testing will also be done at a higher frame rate, and therefore it will be more precise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to let you guys know that this change did happen at some point in the background. I've gone over all of the patch notes that we've had over the past several weeks. I didn't see any mention of a bullet velocity change to the Bullfrog. So it might not be as effective as you think it is now. And overall, in my opinion at least, you are far better off with the LC10 now in basically any situation against a Bullfrog. And with that, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what did you guys think about this bullet velocity change to the Bullfrog? Do you think it was actually a good change, and do you think they meant to do this? Or do you think it was unintentional, or they were just trying to sneak it in and slip it past us? Just let me know those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.